Max Verstappen is one of the most skillful and versatile drivers of the modern era. And the fact that many of his brilliant moments and sensational triumphs have been achieved while some of the sport's greatest proponents were at their peak speaks volumes. He is a true one-of-a-kind, a master craftsman and a daring racer, capable of incredible overtakes and audacious attacks, sound and level-headed under pressure. He's sure to have many more amazing moments in years to come, but until then, here are 10 of the Dutchman's incredible career high points. Max Verstappen's first demonstration of his class came in only his second ever Grand Prix weekend, a race in which he qualified P6 in a Toro Rosso in horrendous conditions. A massive electrical storm and a torrential downpour arrived in Q2. A daunting scenario for most rookies, but not for young Max. The 17-year-old kept his cool and slipped into the top 10. The final session was delayed due to bad weather, but when it finally began, he put his car in 6th place, right behind the 2 Red Bulls. Quite a statement. Up and down the Silverstone paddock at the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, there was one word on everyone's lips: blistering. Intense heat resulted in accelerated tyre wear, and the 2 Mercedes cars of pole sitter Valtteri Bottas and defending champion Lewis Hamilton were not immune.
Max, I think we're a little bit close for tyres at this stage. I think just pull back.
Mate, this is the only chance I'm being close to Mercedes. I'm not just sitting behind like a grandma.
Early pit stops for the Silver Arrows gifted Max Verstappen the lead. But even on fresher tyres, they were unable to match the Dutchman's pace.
Lewis Hamilton is now a pit stop behind Max Verstappen, who hasn't pitted yet. So if Verstappen comes in and pits, he should still get out ahead of Lewis Hamilton. It is the mega overcut in terms of Red Bull and their strategy.
The Flying Finn was ahead of him, but suffering from tyre deg, and Max made the decisive move at Luffield.
He's left a gap though for Verstappen to attack, and as they go through Brooklands, it's wheel to wheel, Mercedes against Red Bull. Verstappen is away and back into the lead.
Verstappen managed his rubber perfectly to the end, taking a famous victory in a frankly inferior car.
Oh, guys, what an amazing race.
The 2015 United States Grand Prix was nearly a washout. The whole weekend drenched in rain, so much so that final practice and the final qualifying session were cancelled. The results of Q2 used to define the lineup. Sunday morning started wet too, and intermediates were in order as the race got underway, with Verstappen starting P9. It was chaos from the first corner.
It's going to be 2 Mercedes going wheel to wheel into the first turn. Verstappen into the inside in about 7th, and Hamilton looks to have forced his teammate wide again, and Rosberg has to go off the track, and Hamilton into the lead.
Avoiding the initial danger, Max went on a charge, overtaking the Red Bulls of the 2 Dannies, Ricciardo and Fiat, banging wheels with Kimi Raikkonen's Ferrari, battling with the Iceman's teammate Sebastian Vettel, and even had a go at Lewis Hamilton, bagging a P4 finish for his mighty efforts.
I'm very happy. I think this was the most complete race.
Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton would have many famous duels over the years, and at the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix, we got a glimpse of what was to come. Max led from pole but was undercut by Lewis after what had been a record-breaking Red Bull pit stop. Max in and out in 1.82 seconds, only to be blocked by Robert Kubica's Williams.
What the did they do?
Undaunted, Verstappen soon passed the multiple world champion.
Brilliant from Max Verstappen.
A later safety car saw Red Bull pit the Dutchman again, and with the Briton electing to stay out, Max had to do it all over again, this time from a safety car restart.
Max Verstappen over the hill, comes wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton. Round the outside of turn 1 he goes. Verstappen's got the restart sorted. The Brazilian Grand Prix goes to Max Verstappen. A year after he finished second and had it taken away in his redemption day.
We did it as a team, guys. Unbelievable. What a race. Oh, I loved it.
Starting the 2017 Chinese Grand Prix on intermediate tyres due to a wet track, Max made up an incredible 9 places on the first lap. But he saved the best till last, as he bore down on the podium places.
Here he's on the march again, brilliant.
Verstappen down the inside on Daniel Ricciardo into turn 6. He's made up yet another place. Max Verstappen once again. These sort of conditions are helping him come alive.
He would come home third, a drive for the ages. There's only one thing better than winning your team's home Grand Prix, doing so after an epic recovery drive and a last gasp overtake for victory. Verstappen started the 2019 Austrian Grand Prix from second, but a poor start saw him fall to 7th.
Verstappen gets an awful start. He's already been bypassed by the 2 Mercedes, Norris and Raikkonen as well.
With dogged determination, he was soon past Lando Norris's McLaren and the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Raikkonen. And the overcut against Lewis Hamilton worked, the Dutchman leapfrogging the Mercedes man for P4. With the podium in sight, he chased down Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel, passing the 4-time champion.
Max Verstappen is up into the podium positions.
And then slipped past Valtteri Bottas in the other Mercedes.
Verstappen, there's no stopping him today.
His final quarry, race leader Charles Leclerc.
Which way's Verstappen going to go here? Switches early, Verstappen, late braking. Leclerc this time might just have to give way as he goes off the track. And when he comes back on, Max Verstappen has just sent Holland into raptures.
He turned in on me.
Mate, there was nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with it.
What the hell is that?
Despite Ferrari's protests, it was deemed a fair move by the stewards. The pass a perfect demonstration of Max's elbows out, no holds barred racing style.
Great fight with Charles, obviously, towards the end. Watching you two side by side was fantastic. And then the move that sealed it. Talk us through it.
Racing. That's how it's called. Otherwise, it's better to stay at home.
As dream starts go, Max Verstappen's Red Bull debut was one of a kind. Replacing Daniel Kvyat for the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, Max delivered on his Toro Rosso promise, albeit with a touch of fortune. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg's championship rivalry came to a head that day.
And it's Nico Rosberg and Hamilton's onto the grass, and Hamilton's had a massive crash, and he's crashed into his teammate.
The 2 Mercedes drivers crashing out on lap 1, handing Red Bull an unlikely 1-2 as the race proper got underway. Inheriting the lead, Daniel Ricciardo had committed to a 3-stopper, but Max Verstappen's side of the garage did the opposite, meaning a long final stint for the Dutchman after leapfrogging his teammate. Here he demonstrated his remarkable defensive skills, fending off Ferrari's Kimi Raikkonen for nearly 30 laps, bringing it home for a famous and record-breaking victory.
Yes! Yes!
Unbelievable, Max. Unbelievable.
Max Verstappen, you are a race winner. Fantastic. What a debut. Fantastic. Great job.
At 18 years and 228 days old, Max Verstappen became the youngest Grand Prix winner in F1 history.
It's an incredible feeling. I mean, I didn't expect that at all, but to come out here on top, yeah, amazing. I have no words for it.
There were many high points to Max Verstappen's 2022 season, but his incredible recovery drive to the top of the podium at the 2022 Belgian Grand Prix was undoubtedly one of the best. A power unit change meant the Dutchman started the race P14, but by the end of the first lap, he was already running in 8th place.
Verstappen going through on Leclerc as well.
So dominant was Max that by lap 8, he had already made his way into the podium places. But he didn't stop there.
Max Verstappen gets past his teammate Sergio Perez. Verstappen is in a world of his own this afternoon.
Verstappen won the race by a whopping 17 seconds in one of the strongest performances of his career.
Amazing Sunday, guys.
He was absolutely in a league of his own.
Basically trying to overtake a car every lap, and then once I realized I was third, I could see, we can win this race, yeah.
Although well renowned for his daring do, Verstappen is no one-trick pony. He can defend like the best of them, as demonstrated in Austin at the 2021 United States Grand Prix. Max qualified on pole, with title rival Lewis Hamilton right beside him.
and he's getting towards Max Verstappen now, tries to cover him off and pushes him to the left-hand side. Hamilton on the inside, pushes Max Verstappen wide.
Tactics came into play, and Red Bull went for the undercut. Verstappen's hot laps on the new rubber were so good that when Mercedes reacted, the Dutchman retook the lead. Hamilton opted for a longer second stint, and when he finally pitted again, he had tyres that were 8 laps fresher as he began his attack. With 18 laps to go, the gap was 9 seconds and shrinking at every turn. Lap by lap, the 7-time champion reeled him in until, on the penultimate lap, Max ran into traffic.
Can his Haas car please go out of the way? Get onto Michael.
Yeah, we are on it.
Here we go then, we're heading towards the last lap.
Hamilton has now got DRS, but crucially, so has Verstappen, because he was lapping Mick Schumacher. Verstappen is keeping his cool, he's keeping his calm and composure, and he is keeping the lead as well. His first sector, a 10th up on Lewis Hamilton. It's taken him beyond that DRS threat. For the first time on US soil, Max Verstappen wins the US Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton has to settle for second. The charge got close, but not quite close enough. What a Grand Prix that was.
In such treacherous conditions as those that prevailed at Interlagos in 2016, Max Verstappen's third place in that year's Brazilian Grand Prix is arguably his finest moment behind the wheel. The first 6 laps were completed behind the safety car, but when racing got underway, Max wasted no time at all.
He might have a go here into turn 1. Verstappen on the inside of Raikkonen catches the fin napping and moves up into third place. Great move from the Red Bull driver. Max Verstappen overtaking Nico Rosberg. Verstappen takes second place.
The boy just goes and finds grip everywhere else.
Get in there, Maxie.
He then made one of the saves of his career.
This is Max Verstappen. Oh, Max Verstappen.
Okay, well held, Max. Well held.
Yeah, heartbeat went a bit higher there.
How has he managed to keep that away from the Armco?
On lap 43, he pitted to switch to intermediates, but it was the wrong call, and he knew it.
Oh, mate, it's like a boat in the last sector. I can't do anything.
Do you want to fit a full wet, Max?
We are waiting for a crash to happen like this.
The conditions worsened, and on lap 54, he was forced to revert to full wets, dropping to P16. But Verstappen was fearless and went on a charge.
Super little move. He's finding grip when no one else is. Oh, he's giving it a right go again, isn't he? Vettel comes to cover him off, but in doing so, he allows Verstappen the opportunity down the inside. Do they make contact? Vettel had to concede the place because the Dutchman certainly wasn't moving. He's going to have a go. He's going to have a go.
Get the traction. Does he nearly almost? Come on, hang in there. He's going to brave it out. Come on, lad. You can do it. He's done it. There you go.
He's set this track alight, hasn't he, Christian? Wow, what a drive.
It's something special that you're witnessing today, I think.
Max Verstappen comes home to claim a podium place. What a thrilling drive.
It was a great race, a lot of fun, a lot of overtakes, a lot around the outside. Mainly, you can't stay behind them because of this race, so you tried to find another line and it seemed to work. At the end, when I crossed the line as well, it felt like a victory.
An incredible driver, Max Verstappen is a worthy world champion. And by reaching the pinnacle of motorsport at such a young age, he's ensured his place in the pantheon of the greats.